You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Project Runway After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Project Runway After Show.
Okay. I don't know when to start. This theme song always throws me off. But Bing is for doing, and here at AfterBuzz TV, we're doing another Project Runway, Season 11, Episode 1, There's No I in Team Recap. Speaking of team, I'm Alina, and I want to introduce the rest of our Project Runway team. Go ahead.
Guys, I'm Virginia.
Hey guys, I'm Lauren. You could call me Lo like these wonderful people do.
Hi everybody, this is Cougar. Welcome back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So happy to be with everybody again.
Excited, everybody?
Super excited.
Super excited.
I'm excited.
This
I
looks
can't
like
wait.
it's going to be a good season.
Yeah.
Definitely. We all just got done with Project Runway All-Stars. Now we've got an exciting team-centric Project Runway Season 11.
And we have Heidi and Tim and Nina back.
Yes.
All of our favorites.
And Zach. I'm so excited
With
for Zach.
addition
Not
to
back.
Zach. Yes.
But
Yeah. I remember when we were talking about the news that Zach Posen was taking Michael Kors' place, and we all kind of didn't really know what to think about that because we do love Michael, and he adds so much, and he was so much fun. But I feel like after tonight's episode, we were all really excited about Zach. He's definitely going to be different than Michael. Maybe not as funny, but I don't know. I mean, it was the first episode.
Yeah.
Who knows how he's going to change as the season continues?
We still have a place in our heart for Michael.
Always.
Of course.
We always will.
I don't know. I've been kind of already replaced him with Zach.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
he's so adorable. I have a little crush.
Oh.
He is adorable.
Didn't you have a crush on Michael Kors?
No. Are you kidding?
I'm just kidding.
All right, we have a lot to talk about, you guys. The challenge begins with beautiful Heidi and Tim getting, well, not getting to know the designers yet, but talking to them and telling them about Project Runway, and then they throw the big wrench. You guys are going to be in teams. What'd you think of all the reactions? I was cracking up because everybody's like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like what are we going to do with our lives now?
Yeah, well, because, you know, like, as you guys have probably watched seasons before, if you haven't, that's always the biggest struggle. Everybody hates the challenge where they have to work in teams, and then it's like the whole time you're going to have to work in teams. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. A lot of, they started trash talking the whole, I can't work in teams. I work better by myself. You know, I don't know why I'm doing a Southern accent right now.
Yeah, right.
But just like they said, you know, that's what the real life is all about, and so it's going to be great to see them kind of struggle with each other, and I think there's going to be a lot more cattiness, a lot more fighting. It should make for a really exciting season.
I just thought it was interesting that the people who were actually excited about it being a team challenge and saying there was only a few, they actually ended up on the top. I'm not going to name anyone
they were the top people.
Yeah.
But one of them actually turned out to be a really great leader and the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of the reaction, the negative reaction to that is that, you know, Project Runway now has been around for a long time, and for so many designers or wannabe designers, this is a dream. You know, this is a dream come true, and you imagine going on there just to showcase your best work. And when you hear that it's going to be, well, first of all, when it's a team challenge, you automatically feel like you're going to have to compromise your style, your taste, your design. So I think when you feel like it's going to be the entire season, you know, it's not exciting to think that you might not always be putting what you feel is your best forward because you have to compromise for your team.
Well, before they explained the rest of the challenge, I was kind of confused as well. I was worried they'd have to make one garment or maybe a small amount of garments and all work on those garments. But once they got to do their own pieces, I was kind of relieved.
Yeah.
Because then you really can't see what their aesthetic is, how they design, the fit, you know, all that stuff.
Right.
But you know, most designers, when they start out, they do have to work for other designers and with other designers. So it kind of, I don't know, it kind of shows, you know, their experience in that sense. Plus, you can see the collections if they can, you know, really make a collection. And it also pushes them to not always make a dress, which is always kind of what you see them start out with. So it's kind of interesting. And I think it'll, you know, as the challenges continue, they will kind of have to shift into the more of the collection where somebody has to do a pant, somebody has to do a short, you know, that type of thing. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. Let's talk more about the actual challenge. They have to create a garment that shows them or shows the Project Runway judges who they are, with the guidance of their team, of course, and their inspiration is New York City. They're divided into two teams who later get named. Well, they name themselves. One is Team Keeping It Real, and the other is Dream Team. One had the point of view from a boat from the Hudson, so they were looking at New York from a distance, and then the other team had the point of view of New York from above.
Right.
So which one would you rather design from, above or from a
Afar,
distance?
personally.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to see New York City from above. I would like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I did like when the guy was going by and he said he saw the Statue of Liberty and finally was like, I'm in New York. Because I had that same feeling when I was in Europe. I'd lived there for a couple months and then I saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa and I was like, okay, now I'm in Europe, because it's something very, you know, that you just kind of think of when you think of Europe.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with the Statue of Liberty. I was like, that is something, if you've ever gone and seen it, you're like, wow, you know, because you've seen it growing up. And so I thought that was really cool. It would inspire me.
Yeah.
True.
Another technicality is they get about $1,200 per team to spend at Mood, which is divided, it can be divided into $150 per person. Now, I'm not sure exactly how they ended up dividing the money, but I have a feeling this is going to be a big issue once these challenges get more complicated.
Yeah, well,
It could be.
It could be.
they talked about it. The two teams, you know, like one team thought that it would be better to spend as much money as they need, and if there's anything left over, then they could, you know, kind of grab for it, whoever might need more. But they didn't really show that, you know, when they went to Mood.
Yeah.
And then the other team was all about just divvying it up evenly.
Well, imagine when there's two team members going against each other and one got to spend more money at the end. The other team member is going to use that against them and be like, well, Sarah got to use that extra $100. I could have really used that fabric. This is why my
But I
garment
would
sucks.
feel like they would need to agree to that. You know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to take money out of their pile, they need to be willing to give that up.
And we've seen in previous seasons where people even lend their money to help other people.
Lend their fabric.
So
and
I don't,
money.
and if you're working in a team, you have to think, okay, if I don't really need it, let's give it to somebody else who does.
Yeah.
You know, and as we see as it goes on, if your design is really strong, you want even the weakest person on your team to be stronger, so that if you are the best, that you can win.
But how many times on the runway do we see people change their stories? Once you're, like, you got that gun on your head, or you know, pointed at you, you're gonna
Well, we saw that tonight for sure.
Yeah, we did. All right, should we move on to the workroom?
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add about the challenge? I didn't see how long they had in Mood.
They had, you know, it was like real quick. It was like a 30 seconds. I think they got like 30 minutes or so. Because they were actually, one of them, Amanda, was like sweating, you know, because she had been running through there grabbing stuff. So it was a really quick trip.
Yeah.
And they only had a day to do the challenge. So, yeah, I think they had to make, you know, split decisions.
Yeah. And actually, before we do get into the workroom, we love Project Runway. We were all really excited about the new premiere, tweeting about it. So we know as fans, or we hope as fans, that you guys are excited about our recaps. So please keep us going, rate us, comment on iTunes. I know we used to go on iTunes and check out fan favorite, but
it doesn't look like they have one
Not yet. Probably
this
not
season.
yet.
I mean, normally in the past, like the Project Runway All-Stars and then Project Runway Season 10, they were constantly promoting it. Like, you would see maybe a lower third come up across the screen that would tell you to go vote for your project favorite, or you would see the hashtags. But this time, you know, it doesn't doesn't seem like they're doing that. But regardless, like Alina said, still go to iTunes and subscribe to us and let us know what you think about this season so far, just even from tonight's premiere. You know, are you excited about the teams? What do you think about it? It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds.
You know, there's actually also a little campaign that we started the other day that maybe we should tell everybody about.
We need the fans to help us as well.
We
You
do.
guys retweet us or tweet Project Runway, because we need to fly to New York City for the finale and watch the show live. What do you guys say?
That would be amazing.
Amazing.
You know, I think we should put our
it would be
Twitter handles
amazing.
up front here. All of you out there who are watching right now, you really should be tweeting at Project Runway, trying to send all the 4 of us out there for the premiere. So at Cougar
For
Tweets.
the finale.
For the sorry, I don't know why I said premiere.
So,
but the finale
Right.
at Cougar Tweets.
At @low_Vias.
At Virginia Reyna.
at _Alina23.
Send
Or-
us to New York.
If they need to lump it all in one, they could still put at AfterBuzzTV, like the at AfterBuzzTV team.
Yes.
They could do that.
Project Runway at AfterBuzz. Or
Yeah.
at AfterBuzz TV
TV.
at Project Runway Team.
Send them.
Or hashtag Project Runway.
to New York. That would be awesome. We could do our show from there.
All right.
I
like
think
it.
they
That'd
need
be
us.
In the
fabulous.
works.
Yeah.
So excited.
Anyways, into now what? Now what are we doing?
Now that we're
Now
all
what?
daydreaming of New
I'm
York.
sorry, I'm sitting
It's
front row
okay.
in New York City right now.
Right.
Let's talk about the challenge, as
Yes.
Mitri would say. Okay.
Yeah, our favorite Mitri.
We're past the challenge. We're in the workroom now, and we see these designers already complaining. Kate is worried about babysitting. There's cocky Emily who talks about these designers. They have nothing on me. I'm going to be in the top 3. Blah blah blah. And then we have others like Daniel, who's really helpful and genuine about it.
Super genuine.
What is going through your head when you're watching this?
I like Daniel right away. I just thought, you know, and I said this a few times, he looks like Dustin Hoffman. When he's got that crazy mustache that looks like it was kind of like, I don't know, I couldn't imagine growing that. But I don't know, he was cool. Very interesting story. You know, a man that's 40, did anybody write that?
48.
48,
Yeah.
dropped out of high school at the age of, in 9th grade.
Wow.
And he's been working steadily. He had great, you know, when they showed his sketches or some of his, you know, previous work, it was good stuff.
Yeah, I noticed. I mean, they have a lot of older contestants, more so than usual. Normally, we would only see maybe 1 or 2, and this season, I mean, there's at least 3, maybe 4
Patricia.
older. Cindy's 59,
Cindy.
Patricia's 46, Daniel's 48.
Benjamin's 35. Not, I mean, like, terribly older.
Right.
Hey, come on. I'm
Yeah, I
getting
was
close
gonna
to
say,
that.
Oh, whatever.
Not that
Thanks,
bad.
Cougar.
But, you know, and the cool thing about it is that when we saw them introduced, they did look talented. Like, they look really talented, as opposed to the previous seasons where some of the older designers, we kind of were thinking, why are you putting them into this season, into this challenge? But these 3 look pretty good.
Well, either the older designers are going to be out of touch, in my
Right.
opinion, or they're going to be really good because they
Right.
have all this experience under their belt. They're wise.
Yeah, I think you're right. They either have like an older aesthetic style and taste that's past,
Yeah.
or they have really great skill. I think.
Yeah.
I think
and
that's
I
what
think
we're
that's
seeing.
what we're seeing.
Although
Yeah.
then we had Cindy, who kind of threw me for a loop with the whole funeral director thing. She
What?
went through a career change.
Yeah.
Her and her
How do you
husband,
go from that to
funeral
fashion?
director to fashion designer.
Maybe she was secretly dressing up like the dead
Oh my
body.
God.
Bodies.
I just got
And then
instantly
she thought
creeped
maybe
out.
that's
so
what
much
I
with
should be
that.
doing.
She was adding red.
That's my
lapels to
guess.
the
I don't
grandpa.
know anything.
Creepy.
Right.
Oh man.
But that was my impression of the work.
You know, I
loved
felt
it.
like as soon as Emily opened her mouth and
Yeah.
kind of said, I'm going to be top 3 and everybody else sucks, even though I haven't seen them do anything, I was like, you are digging your grave.
Yep.
Yes.
Because how can you come in that cocky?
And what a
don't know.
jinx. What a jinx.
What a jinx.
I like though
Wink,
how she
wink.
said it was, I don't know what my competition is yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm one of the best.
Top 3.
I
Top
feel
3.
like what was she, 24?
No, I
Yes.
thought she was it
I think
24.
she was 24.
She was really young.
She's 24.
She just
and
graduated.
she, to me,
No?
really showed her age there. Or she just seemed really immature. And I mean, I'm still in my 20s, so it's not like I'm so much wiser. But I just thought that
God,
was
we
an
hate you.
immature comment.
No, but
Very.
it definitely shows a younger age
Yeah.
because, when you're that young, you just think you're the best at everything. I know I did. I still
But
kinda
who
think
says
that.
it?
Yeah, come on, Virginia, let's be for real.
Yeah, right. Even if you think it though, who straight out says that to the camera on the first day?
Or
That's just
she's
silly.
trying to be
You
a
gotta show
personality.
and prove, yeah.
Well, didn't last long.
Yeah, right.
Didn't do her any favors.
No. I also saw some cattiness, or I noticed some cattiness. People like Michelle and Amanda
Right away.
kept
Yeah.
talking about how they're not going to help and forget
yeah.
so
Oh, and
and
Kate,
so.
Kate, they did the spot of her right away. I don't work in teams. You know, like I did not like her attitude from the beginning.
And Michelle seems to be a bit two-faced because she goes up to Emily in the workroom and tells her, we'll rally together and we'll help you tomorrow. And then when they're back in the hotel at the Atlas, she's like, I'm not going to help her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you see, she really didn't help her.
No.
At least I didn't notice that.
Nope.
You're right. And then
Evil.
Tim Gunn comes in.
Tim Gunn.
Bum, bum, bum.
I love Tim Gunn.
I'm so happy to see Tim.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy to see Tim, but since it's these big groups, I feel like I don't hear him as much as we used to when he'd come to critique them.
Well,
Because he's asking the teams as well. Like,
It was
what
kind
do
of
you
a-
think? What do you think?
I thought it was also, you know, it's the first show. There's so many designers.
Yeah.
We didn't get to know
Right.
Zach Posen that well because he didn't have a lot of sound bites because there just wasn't room, you know. So I think Tim will become more and more involved and kind of separate people out as we go here.
But it is interesting to see, you know, how that dynamic is going to work with your teams, because it's like the good people don't necessarily need people's critique, so it really might not benefit them as much, whereas the people that are still trying to find themselves are really going to benefit. And that, I mean, it could benefit them, it could hurt them.
Kind of.
Because if they're just listening to what other people say, they can just be like, okay, that's what you guys think. And then they can almost pawn it off like, well, they told me to do that.
Or
You
they
know?
could get through the entire season really not making anything that's truly their own.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think it's
I don't
actually
know.
going to help the designs a lot. You know, like we saw.
Exactly,
We
it'll
won't.
help.
We won't
The bad people.
say who, you know, who was in the top. No, well, I mean, like one of the people that was in the top tonight.
Yeah.
He, you know, I really liked
Right.
his dress. His, you know, not to give too much away, but and he really benefited from the editing of his peers. But I think it probably would have been good either way. You know, as far as what I could tell from what he came up with.
But then when you see, you know, Daniel, who's a really, really strong designer, he didn't need anybody's help, and he came out with
Yeah.
something fabulous. So who is that really help? I mean, it's helping the people that might not be as good.
But don't you think, I'm sorry, don't you think the really good designers, though, if they're going to put something up there that's really great, most people are going to recognize that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're
I
that
hope.
great, yeah, you hope, but I would think if you have a group, it would be the majority saying it's good, it's perfect, or I like what you're doing and giving good, you know, good feedback. It was funny to see. I actually really liked this dynamic. I like seeing the whole group standing there and then just kind of giving their critiques, because I felt like for the first time they were actually being sincere and honest with each other, whereas I think in previous seasons people question whether they should help you know, the other contestants because they're competing against them. And for the first time, they need, you know, if they want to win the challenge, they need to be helpful. So I thought it was I really liked it. I really liked watching, you know, everything that they had to say.
I don't know how long that dynamic will last, though. As
Right.
soon
It'll-
as-
I
it'll-
agree.
it'll-
It'll
You know,
dwindle. I
It'll
think.
dwindle. They'll get on each other's nerves. They'll start liking and disliking each other.
Well, it's
So
just like we saw with
favoritism.
James. He was like, well, they told me to do it. And
well-
it's almost like a cop-out.
James,
It
he
is,
said in his soundbite in the workroom that he really didn't want to follow, you know, what the critique was, and I don't think he did follow it that well. He wanted to stay true to himself. And the same thing with Kate. She wasn't about the critique either, and taking anybody's criticisms, and you know, we'll get into her
Oh, that was
her
funny.
thing later.
I remember
the-
that.
Yeah, she was like, I just want to hear from Tim.
Yeah, I just want to
Yeah,
hear from
she
Tim.
was really
First-
against hearing, and but it was funny because everybody was telling her to like take off the sleeves of her dress or whatever it was, and she really didn't want to. And she's like, I don't care what anybody has to say. All I care about is what Tim thinks. And so she asked Tim what he thinks, and he agreed with the group.
Yeah.
So it's like you might not want to hear what your group has to say, and you might be really stubborn and just want to do your own thing and think you're the most amazing thing. But you know, I agree, there's gonna be a benefit from like that comes from listening to your peers and maybe taking their advice.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I instantly don't like her.
Yeah.
She's on my naughty list.
Too soon for me to tell.
Yeah, anybody that just can't, like, if everybody is telling you, take off the sleeves. Take off the sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, you haven't stepped away and edited
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's that's the big in prior Project Runway seasons and in All Stars. We talked about this a few times when Tim Gunn or whoever is telling you to do something, just do it.
Yeah.
So, let's get over the egos. It'll help you win.
Yeah.
Especially
Hint.
the first day.
Yeah.
First
Like,
day,
first day.
safe to take your team's advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When there's 4 of you and
Yeah.
somebody is trying to sabotage you, it might be a different story.
Good call.
Well, and then I liked how Emily was like, she went from
yeah.
I'm the best to, well, at least I just don't want to be on the worst.
Yeah. It was funny when they showed her team getting together for the critique. They cut away to her, talking to the camera, and she said that as she was starting to see her other teammates' designs, that she was starting to get nervous and realizing the competition that she was up against and questioning her own skill.
She crumbled quickly.
Yeah.
Well, when Tim was in there, she didn't even have anything to show.
Nothing.
No,
There was not one piece on the mannequin. So,
No. She had just her paper patterns up. And
it was bad.
and even
didn't
then, I
know
feel
what
like
they
she was
were.
still kind of calm.
Yeah.
If that were
Right.
me, I'd be freaking out at that point.
Right.
out.
Yeah,
I was
agree.
wondering, I was like, is she just going to like throw some fabric and tie it? I mean, I was really, it wasn't going to be good.
The one bit of ragging that really, it didn't surprise me because was it Leana? Is that her? Leana Aguilar.
Leana.
She was hating on Patricia from the very beginning on the boat. When they got to the workroom, she was hating on Patricia there, and there was another girl that was hating on Patricia. Because Patricia was in there doing her little painting on the fabric thing, and I was questionable about that too.
Some guys were hating on that too. They were
Yeah, there
saying
was
it
a lot of
crafty.
everybody
liked
was
it.
pointing
Me
fingers
too.
at Patricia, and she's a little weird. I mean, she's a little eccentric doing her
Native American
Calls.
calls.
call. I didn't want to call it that because I was like, that wasn't. I don't know. It was just a weird like
that
bird
is what
call.
it is.
It was like a chant.
I thought that was really talented. When I heard that, I'm like, I could never do that. That's kind of amazing.
That was pretty close.
But yeah, so okay, the weirdo did have talent.
No, but I thought, like anytime you see people that like go right to painting or, to doing something like that, they clearly have a vision.
Yeah.
And I
It's
thought
whether
it
they
was
can
really
execute it.
cool. I was like, wow, because I tried painting this weekend and it was a disaster. I was like, never doing that again. But like she had, like, it was just really cool. And I could see where she could, the skyscrapers were coming out. I was like, wow, that is New York.
Yeah, she was really going for it. And I think, didn't you say it was Kate that was hating on her first? Is that who it was?
No, Leana Aguilar.
Oh, Leana. Okay, so she was like, what is she doing painting when we only have a day to do this? And she was questioning her time management. But I thought, you're right, the way she was just going at it, and she obviously had a really clear vision. And I'm thinking, this lady is 46. And we saw some of her work, like they showed pictures of her work, and clearly it was really good. And I thought, she knows what she's doing. She wouldn't be, she wouldn't have that work to show if she didn't know how to manage her time.
Right.
I just thought, don't even question it. You're going to be wrong.
Yeah. I honestly, I
Young.
did question it because I was like, painting, that's a whole like other day that you should be spending on it. But you're right.
I think she knows herself. Yeah.
So, and it turned out really pretty.
Yeah, it did.
Who else in the workroom was a hot mess? I didn't like James at all. Well, I did not like him, but his work was really
I don't
bad.
even remember what he was
him,
doing.
yeah.
The white
top.
with the pleating that
Oh,
looked like the
We
crinkle.
got Patricia on screen right now, and
How about Cindy though,
they can
with
see
the
it.
big
oh
Bob's
my
big
God.
boy checker?
Right.
And did anybody catch what the inspiration for her was?
It
did
was
we talk about it?
the buildings. She said, was it the windows?
No, wasn't that Cindy? Or I mean,
That
wasn't
was
that
Patricia.
That was Patricia. Sorry.
Who's painting?
I don't
it?
know, but it looked like a Italian pizza box to me, or it could look like the
She did a
insert
little-
for your hamburger and fries when you get the basket.
Yeah, just in
An
the
Italian
very middle
tablecloth.
of the dress, though.
Like why?
Yeah, she had an interesting print that was a little mammalia, and then the
Animal
weird,
printish.
then a little In-N-Out burger right in the middle.
I like the Bob's Big Boy. That was good.
Bob's Big Boy,
Right
perfect.
smack
yeah.
through the
His-
center.
His little.
And if you're not familiar with Bob's Big Boy, damn good burgers.
Look it up
Yeah.
on
Burbank,
Bing.
California.
Yeah.
The original Big Mac.
Yeah, you know who I thought was really funny? When they went to Keeping It Real, they showed Kate, and she was showing her black dress, and I don't even really remember exactly what she was saying. She's like, but I'm going to do this, and then she turns it around and she goes, and va-va-boom, and it's like this strappy thing, and it just cuts to her whole team, and they all just start applauding, and they were all so excited. I thought that was the funniest moment.
Especially
I was like, that is so funny.
Daniel. He was like...
Yeah.
His child
bright-eyed. They were also like bright-eyed and like excited about it, and I thought, really?
Yeah, it was so boring.
Ba-ba-boom.
And
I was like,
it
what?
was, I don't know.
It's like I've seen that how many times? Like,
and it wasn't even well done.
everywhere.
It wasn't well done at that point.
It was whatever, but the point is, look, I feel like Lo's point is that they're already so like supportive.
Or so fake, or we're so fake.
I don't think so.
Fake, yeah.
It was too quick to be fake. It was too quick of a genuine reaction to be fake.
Daniel reminds me of a toned down Casanova. I'm just saying.
He could be.
Team Daniel.
I could see that.
I don't know about that.
They look like they could kind of be related. Maybe.
Yes, Daniel is a toned down Casanova.
Aren't they both kind of, oh, wait.
Look at that face.
Where's Casanova from? Was he from Miami?
Miami. Casanova is from Miami.
Yeah.
And Daniel's from the South, I think, Texas, or?
Austin.
He's definitely
Wasn't he
toned
Austin?
down, but
I don't remember.
He's Dustin Hoffman.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
mustache.
don't really see Dustin.
Are you kidding?
I see it.
Yeah, thank you.
And I also think 2 looks like Angelina Jolie's Shiloh.
Who was the lady that looks like the mom? Oh yeah, Michelle looks like the mom from Home Alone to me. If you
now it or not, I don't know about nowadays, but when because in Home Alone she didn't have the dark hair, but then doesn't she now?
I don't know.
I don't think she
Forget
did
the
in
dark
Home
hair.
Alone.
Just look at the face. Look at the face.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Now that I'm looking, because
Maybe.
we have a little cheat sheet in front of us right now. I'm looking at Michelle.
And Daniel has
Definitely.
the crazy eyes in that picture.
Yeah.
No,
These are the ones that you can go on Project Runway on Lifetime.
Yeah,
and get the pictures.
lifetime.com.
How
and
about
then you'll see.
Project Runway's editing? Some people popped up on the runway, and I was like, "Who the
Ooh.
hell is that? Who's 2?
Yeah, who's 2?
Who's this?"
That's what
Yeah.
I said.
There were so many people. Joseph, we didn't see his name until the runway, and we
Yeah.
were like, "Who's that guy with those glasses?"
Yeah, who's Joseph?
No clue.
All these people we
Matthew.
will soon know more about, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Matthew,
I feel like this season, I don't know, it's probably the same amount of designers, but I feel like there's a lot more. Did you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, they kept coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, when the runway came, I was like, wait, how many people are on this show?
Yeah.
Because my notes before that, I counted like 13, and I was like, well, that's an off number. How did this even work?
Yeah.
And then, all these people pop out of nowhere.
I just feel like it's always like this in the beginning of the season, especially the first episode. It's so hard to remember their names.
Yeah.
Well, and it's almost good if you don't make it in the first couple episodes, because then it's like, okay, like Emily, I was like, oh no. You know something bad's happening. But everybody else, they kind of fly under the radar, and then you see them, and you're like, oh, okay.
They kind of flourish before our eyes. Yeah. So now what?
There's probably going to be a double.
So now what do we do?
There's
Like, now where do
probably
we
going to
go?
be a double elimination soon, though. I feel like. Well,
You
maybe I
think?
should say
Predictions.
that to tell predictions.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because there's too many
Predictions.
people, and I can't handle it, Project Runway. Eliminate some busters, all right? Anyways, Runway.
Yeah, Alina's getting a little cray on the other side of the
I
table.
think
there.
you're right.
A
There
little
are
violent.
too many people.
We're just ordering Project Runway around.
Send
Send
us
us to New York. Eliminate
Cut
some people.
here.
They should bring us on as the producers of the show. It'd be a lot more interesting and exciting.
You know what? While we're making our request,
Yeah, how many campaigns
Anything
can we
else?
start this season?
Guest judge. Well, first they should give us a trial run, and we could be guest judges,
oh my God.
There you go.
and maybe one at a time, because this would be a lot to
I
deal
call
with.
for
Are you kidding? No,
Go
put us
for
up
it.
there with Zach and just get rid of Nina and
What?
Kristen. No, I'm just saying
Oh,
us four and
Cougar.
Zach.
I
No,
would-
I'm all of us at the same time.
You don't want to see Heidi?
Why? You
No,
don't
no,
wanna
with
come on.
Heidi,
you don't
with
wanna see
Heidi, with
Heidi.
Heidi.
Why not Nina?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Nina?
Yeah, no, I don't have
Lo
anything.
is
You can just.
offended. She is
Yeah, you
personally
are
offended.
offended right
Why
now.
not Nina?
I'm okay, fine. Because maybe I need another guy on my side. Maybe I mean,
Maybe
come
Zach
on.
Posen will help you. Point is that if I ever get to guest judge, I apologize for my behavior right now because I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna have a ton of one-liners.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be,
You're gonna like study one-liners, and then you're gonna get
I'm
there,
gonna
and it's
study
like,
Michael
not gonna have
Kors.
Gonna
anything
pull
to
thing out
do
from the ghetto
with the
Dropbox.
dress.
I'm gonna study Michael Kors and the best judge on television, Simon Cowell,
Good
and
one.
then I'm gonna rip these people apart.
You're fired.
I think you just really made a strong pitch for yourself to be the judge.
Have your
I like
people
it.
call my people.
So
Nice.
you know what I was thinking though when you said that they were gonna. Oh wait, you said you were gonna study. Do you know? Sorry,
I could study if you want.
Yeah, but don't you think that they would study what they're gonna design for their at least their first challenge and have something like prepared? Because I
Yeah.
would, even if it's
Maybe.
like even if New York is your inspiration, I'm gonna have something like sketches and like planning. And this was
But
like,
if you have no idea what direction you're headed in, then your sketches would be worthless.
but you'd have some sort of direction
Yeah.
because you have to think, okay, I might make this dress, and you know, like I would have at least some ideas going, not just nothing.
They
Your
might.
first challenge.
They
might.
always ask to see what your aesthetic is about or who
Exactly.
you are as a
Yeah.
designer. So,
Exactly.
I mean, take a wild guess, people. Get
Yeah.
your shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about this runway.
Okay, so
Let's.
yeah.
So Heidi comes out in a very sheer shirt.
top. Yes.
I didn't like it.
I would.
There's
like,
something
I
different
like
about
it.
Heidi.
You did? I don't like it.
There's something smaller about Heidi.
There's something smaller about Heidi.
How did it get smaller? I want to know the secret.
Here's the
I don't
thing.
either.
They were
What?
never that big.
Secret.
Yeah.
They're never that big. It's
I
a
agree.
miracle
They were.
bra.
Yeah, she was runway. Yeah.
Okay.
But
all those
she-
Victoria's Secret models have B cups.
There is no way she
Yes.
has a B cup.
No,
I agree.
Alessandra
No, A or B.
Ambrosia
A or
has
B.
not B cups.
What? She's tiny.
Adriana Lima, not B cups.
Oh,
Those are
she might
push-up
be a B
bras.
cup. Yeah.
Those
Those
are
are
probably
push-up bras,
A
but
cups.
not
I've seen them
Heidi.
both in person.
No.
Yes, Heidi.
They've been this
Not
close.
Heidi.
She is not.
She
She does
has
not
to be
have
at
big
least
boobs.
a C. I'm sorry.
Alina had wait.
They're like
Alina had
this. They're
Adriana
like
Lima's breast disease.
Yeah,
like
because
all
they're really
like,
freaking
correct.
tall
Yeah, I don't know.
too, and so they were right here.
Where
They
was
were-
this?
Where was this?
At the
How-
Grove, all the Victoria's Secret models were
Uh-huh.
there, and they're
Oh.
all like 7 feet tall,
Right.
100 pounds, and have A or B cups, maybe. Even Alessandra, your girl.
Yes.
Alessandra.
We've had them before
Yeah, I
too.
know. You look stunned. So did I. I was like this the whole time. They probably thought I was a pervert.
They're so
But hey.
tiny. I mean,
Are you
it's
trying to
totally
say that you're
are.
not
I'm
a
trying to
pervert?
sell Victoria's Secret miracle bras because
Okay,
they really
the
work
new
miracles.
bras. The new bras have like 2 or 3 inches of padding because I literally go around and I feel them, and that's how I pick a bra there.
They
Because
do.
I'm like, I don't need 2 extra
I do not
inches
need
up
padding.
here.
Please.
No.
A lot of padding. It's
Think
a lot
about
of
the
boost,
bigger-
lighting, angles. Come on, photography.
I still think Heidi has bigger than
Photoshop.
B boobs.
No.
Heidi, tweet me and just let me know.
Heidi,
Listen.
can you tweet us and let us know about
But
the
if
boobs?
if she gets like intimacy bras, she could be a D. That
That's
doesn't
true.
count.
They're smaller.
Intimacy bras.
The
Yeah,
line.
The line.
I'm so glad that we started talking about
Oprah's
boobs.
bra whisperer.
Totally off topic.
That's her
Super
story.
awesome combo
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
boobs.
Okay, we
If
need
you
to
want to
get the
continue that conversation with
Tweet
us,
at
just tweet
Cougar.
us.
Point is, Heidi's outfit, I liked it. Her boobies.
I didn't like it.
They did look small in it.
All right.
They didn't look lifted, is what it
Yeah.
was the problem with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that top. I just didn't think it was
Love
flattering.
those.
The skirt was cute though.
But
She has a
always
great
talks
rack.
about
I'm not going to
boobs.
say.
No,
Oh
because
yeah, it doesn't matter size. It's
But
quality
she
over
always talks
quantity.
about that.
Yeah.
Every time that people aren't wearing something that's a push-up, she's like, why isn't it pushed up? So
I agree.
why wasn't it pushed up? That's what I want to know.
Heidi, why wasn't it pushed up? Tweet us that answer.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill
Anyways,
you guys.
but the skirt was cute. The skirt was cute.
It was cute.
I would
Yeah.
love my
Good.
Twitter feed to be full
She's
of conversation
gorgeous.
about boobs now.
I mean, when she first walked out, how excited are we to see Heidi?
I know.
Boobs
I was-
and all.
we
I
were
don't
like-
care if they're down. I don't care if they're
After
up.
we
I
had just
don't care
gone
where they
through
are.
a couple months of Caroline Murphy,
Yeah,
We were
like
such
team
a
keeping
better
it real.
sight.
we were ready
Sorry.
for Heidi to come back to our lives.
All right, let's keep it real, you guys.
Keeping it
Team,
real.
keeping it real.
Team, keeping it real.
We don't have
We
enough-
were talking about keeping it real.
We don't have enough time to discuss everybody's look because our engineer Martin might stab himself,
Right.
and you guys will go crazy too. Point is, let's talk about our favorites and our least favorites on each team.
Wait,
Who wants to
wait,
go
wait,
first?
wait. No, we have
Not
to talk
me.
about the guest judges.
Oh, you're right.
We had, well, not just guests. We had Zach Posen, who is the
New
new
judge.
guest, our new judge, which
Judge.
we already talked about. And then
And the
we had a
guest.
guest judge, Christian Siriano, who I was excited to see because when they first said an alum, I was really thinking it was going to be Mondo again because they
Yeah.
did have a little show before this show. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was like the Road to Project
Yeah.
Runway, and he was on there, and I was like, oh gosh, he's just so bitchy. I used to like him because I was from Denver, or I was in Denver when he was doing it, and I was like, oh yay, Denver. But now I'm just kind of over him because he's
Yeah. I feel like
Rare.
every time we see him, he's got a total ego.
Very.
And maybe he doesn't. We don't know him personally, but that's the way he's just always very serious and straight face, and he looks like whatever he says is right.
Yeah, he gives the harshest critique.
But I
too.
really liked him on his season, so I'm hoping that's not really how he is. But just from what we've seen, you're right. I was glad it wasn't him. I like Christian. I think he seems really nice.
All right. So team Keeping It Real, by the way, they have the far superior name. Dream Team
Dream
Original.
Team.
Seriously.
Real original.
We all know
There's
who the
only
real Dream
one
Team
Dream
is,
Team.
Yeah.
right?
And they're in
right here. Yeah.
I was gonna say Michael Jordan, but you know. Okay.
Hey,
You
oh,
were
yeah.
safe.
old.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
the
old.
Olympic
But
team.
I
old.
really meant you ladies and me together again.
Because we're legends.
Because we're legends.
Legends. Whoop.
Anyways.
All right, I'll start then with my favorite
Go ahead.
for Keeping It Real, Daniel.
Daniel.
It was a chic pantsuit, and
Yeah.
he had this peplum jacket that was really exaggerated. The peplum was
was,
really
like, puffy.
exaggerated. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then it had a low V-neck on the jacket, fit really, really well. Looked, like Heidi said, really expensive. And the time he had, like, wow, I can't believe he made that in the time he had. And he managed to help other people. Great attitude. And who did I hate on that team?
Oh, Lord. Oh, I know who I hated.
Let's see.
I think this is very clear. But I don't want to say it if I don't want to give it away.
Are we doing one by one here?
I think so.
All right, good.
I don't remember who I didn't like. I didn't love Kate's. I thought it was boring. Joseph. Which one was
Remember?
Who
Joseph?
is Joseph?
The pleated.
Oh,
It was like we had
panel?
no introduction to him.
unimpressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
horrible.
I wrote his name down as Jason.
No. wrong. No. It was a bunch of pleated fabrics just draped on her, all
Unflattering.
different lengths.
Yeah.
That looked like a bad project.
Yeah.
Like,
It
I'm just going to take
yeah.
a bunch of the same fabric in different colors, cut them at different lengths, and just put them on this model.
And whenever
And-
you make a model look huge, you know
Yes.
that is terrible.
you
Because
go.
she was tiny and she looked like she was pregnant.
My point
Yeah.
exactly. I will agree with you, Joseph. Unflattering. That's all I had written for him.
Virginia.
You know, I liked a few of them. I really also liked but I liked Patricia's, but Amanda's it was a very simple look. It was like a blue tank top with some pants. And I don't know if it was like her model sold it really well because she just like walked out there with a lot of confidence, but I was like, that's a cute look that I feel like I could wear. And
Yeah.
typically, I mean, I'm gonna let you guys talk about other ones you liked, but I thought it was pretty
Who'd
Yeah.
you hate?
Who did I hate? You know, I have to go with Jason. That was
Joseph.
Joseph.
It's Project
Sorry,
Runway's
I'm
fault.
just-
They didn't introduce us to him.
They didn't, and yeah. it
And
was
his look
awful.
wasn't memorable. If it was great, you would know his name.
Yeah.
And the color was drab,
Yeah.
It was like different colors. It was weird.
but it was all drab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. You're right. I'm gonna agree with you. I feel like it's pretty unanimous that Daniel's was okay, maybe not. Was a really great look.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
What I also liked, aside from the peplum and the deep V, he had like a subtle yet very structured shoulder, and the length of the pant and the length of the long sleeves, they were kind of cropped. Like it was more of a 3/4 sleeve and like a mid-calf crop pant. And I thought that was what was really cool. It was a little bit more unexpected and so chic and so well put together, very well executed. And you're right, he had the best attitude. When they asked him, how was it like to work in a group setting? And I think that, you know, making this a team season, they were expecting a lot of drama, you know, and maybe they weren't expecting these answers, but this entire team, anyone they asked, all thought that it was great. They all had a really great experience working together. They, you know, took each other's constructive criticism and their help, and, you know, they had a really great experience. So I kind of love that. They were all very positive.
And you remember
Who
when
did-
they split up the teams? The other team was like, well, that doesn't look like a team I'd want to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were like the older people.
Yeah.
Don't judge
Who
a
didn't
book
Who
by
didn't
its
you like on
cover.
this out of Keeping It Real?
Joseph. That's
Joseph.
who I didn't like at all. At all. Yeah.
Well, no,
And Cougar.
I agree. I agree with all this. I just wanted to kind of, you know, give a little bit of a different take. Stanley. I really like Stanley stuff. I didn't think he got enough shine, so I was gonna pick Stanley. Great pantsuit, wonderful fit. The fabric that he chose was outstanding. It was beautiful and it looked beautiful on the model. So I think Daniel was great, but I think Stanley was also equally as good. They just didn't give him enough shine or the same type of shine. As far as who I hated, I did hate Joseph's look, but I hated Kate's more because she had a bitchy attitude and it sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It was boring.
you know, it was
Yeah.
super boring. It didn't look like it was well made. The back crisscrossy thing that she ended up doing was, you know, terrible.
The
and
fabric was
Yeah.
dull.
Yeah,
Should we
it
be
was
describing this
dull.
though? Like it was a white kind
it
of
was
like a cocktail,
crepe
like
material, and
Yeah.
it's the one where she
It was a
they were
sweater
arguing with
material.
her to take off the sleeves.
yeah, oh, that's
and
right.
and she didn't. She wasn't all about that teamwork. I think that you know, and
No.
you could tell that I don't know, her aesthetic is going to be on. She's going to be on her own. I think she's going to be off the show pretty quick.
Well, see, that's what bothers me about the team thing. I hope they don't carry her because it's a strong team besides her.
Yeah.
They may be carrying her.
Yeah, like Joseph.
A long way.
I think if that team didn't win, he could have been in the bottom 3
Sure,
or bottom 2
absolutely.
or
Oh, yeah.
whatever. So yeah, that's where this team thing is going to get interesting because we may see better designers get kicked off before.
I think though,
not so
like
great ones.
conversely, if you look at the Dream Team and what they produce, their bad was way worse
bad.
than Keeping It Real.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is a stark, and actually that kind of would bother me if these teams stay the same the entire season, because there is a or at least in the first episode there was a big distinction between talent and teams.
So speaking of Dream Team, Cougar, go ahead and start us off this time.
All right, on the Dream Team, my favorite. Because as I look over my Dream Team notes, I see awful, horrid,
oh my god.
WTF, but I did like Samantha. Oh, you know what? I think it was kind of a tie between Matt and Samantha. They both had these cute skirt looks.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably give my favorite to Matthew, I guess his name was. We didn't really get a great introduction to him. But he had a cute top with a skirt, a printed skirt, looked good. As far as who was the worst, Emily, hands down. Horrible, not even finished, gross. What were you thinking? You could have done something draped, and I don't even know how to describe what she had out there, other than hot garbage.
Yeah. I would say that my favorite was Samantha. She had like it was like a short dress, navy, and it was like sheer. I don't really even know how to describe it, but I know if you go to the Project Runway show, I think you can see all the images of the runway and go through each image. But I really loved hers. I thought hers was really soft and pretty, and it looked really well put together.
Yeah.
And I feel like because she was on the losing team, it's unfortunate because I think she would have had kind of maybe, I don't want to say a standout look, but I think she had one of the better ones. And then my worst, who did you say? Emily? Yes, Emily was definitely awful. But if I'm thinking, I don't know if I could choose, but if I had to wear either Emily's or Cindy's, I don't know. Like, they're both
What?
horrible.
Oh,
Cindy's
really?
is horrible.
It was tied together on the back.
Yeah.
Maybe
It
I could
didn't
tie
have
it
a
better. I don't know.
closure.
Cindy's was bad. I wouldn't want to be
okay.
seen in that fabric. I wouldn't want to be seen
Nina
with the
said it all.
checkers.
When it came to Emily, in 11 seasons,
Oh, you're right.
she's never seen something so unfinished and like
Everything was
man.
unfinished. The arms that you could see, like
I agree.
The little
seams.
wispy-
It was a mess. I'm
there wasn't
totally
even a
agreeing with
seam.
you. It was a total
There wasn't
mess.
even a concept to like pull together.
It was
anything.
horrible.
I liked
Here's
how
the-
they were judging it, and they were like, I could kind of see this one piece that you had going, but that was it.
bad.
Yeah.
Since it's Project Runway and they have to actually hire or pick a designer, somebody who can design and make the clothes, I get why they
Went with
didn't like
Cindy,
Emily.
over
no,
Emily.
But Cindy, taste-wise, that's why I
That's
put
what
her
I'm
saying,
first, too.
taste-wise.
Taste-wise, I wouldn't. You can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was
you.
tacky. Even the regular fabric she chose
It was
was terrible.
Not good.
It did. I didn't really get the connection at all between New York and the regular
Nothing.
fabric,
No.
not the Bob's
That's
Big
what-
Boy fabric,
that's
but
what,
the regular fabric.
Even
made no
the
sense to me.
dated long dress, nothing
That's
spectacular.
what Nina
about it.
said too. She's like, this doesn't read New York to me at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even see how this has any inspiration.
Virginia, sorry, we don't want to skip your picks. Go ahead. and
No,
do-
that's okay. There were a few good ones. Other than Emily's that was awful, I thought Michelle's was terrible. It was like that denim that looked like she had a holster of some sort. It reminded me
Yeah.
of
Oh.
a costume.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
There was like a costume a couple
Yes.
years ago. It was like a cute cowgirl, and you could get like a saloon thing with it,
Right.
like a water flap of some
Yeah.
sort. And that's what it looked like. It looked like a costume. And she was like, "I think I would be in the top." And I was like, "Are you serious?"
It
You
looked
really think
so
that's
bad.
good?
It looked like a costume for a Broadway show, someone playing a poor person.
I felt like
No, like dressed in like kind of raggedy clothes.
I felt post-apocalypse, like girl who's kicking ass.
Yeah, I
you know,
actually
like,
kind of liked it. I
with the
didn't.
bag.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't like
I
it
didn't
at
hate it.
all.
I didn't hate it.
Like, you know, the new zombie movie.
I thought the
and then
material looked like
Yeah.
it was wax denim.
bad. It was bad.
It was
just too much going
terrible.
on. There's too much going on, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
All right. Did you say your favorite, Virginia?
I didn't have a favorite.
Okay,
Sorry,
that bad
Dream Team.
Two?
Yeah,
You
because
didn't
even
like two?
Matthew.
I thought two was your favorite.
Two was okay, but there was like a nipple flap that I didn't understand. There was like weird pleading.
His teammates, like Heidi liked his thing, and
Heidi
then his
liked
teammates were like,
his.
yeah.
Well, of course
good for
Heidi
you, buddy.
liked it. It was
'Cause Heidi
slutty
could pull it
kind
off,
of
yeah.
like, you know, there was
Are you
stuff
saying
showing.
that Heidi's slutty? Come on.
I never said she
She's
was slutty.
sexy.
She likes that stuff
Oh.
though.
Yeah.
Some women,
She's German.
yeah, they like to show it off.
All
She's
right.
got it. Come
Alina?
on. She
My
can show it off.
favorite, I agree, Matthew. I love the skirt with a lot of volume. It was really cute. I thought it was really on trend. And the cute little top. So he was my favorite. But I was torn between him and Samantha. So, but I'm going to go with him. He has the little edge. Reminds me of Aussie style, like Australian girls. And then my least favorite was, again, a tie between Emily and Cindy. I'm just going to have to go with Cindy because the obvious lack of taste there.
I
And
agree.
Emily, I mean, she just can't design worth shit. She shouldn't have been on the show, period.
She's not ready. She's just not
I
ready.
wonder what it was
She
that
can't sew.
convinced them, the people who make the decision, that she was ready or was talented enough to be in that group.
Well, look at Anya. She told the
that's
people
right.
who casted her that, listen, I just learned to sew 4 days ago or something crazy
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And she's like, keep me on. I will do it, blah, blah, blah. I will get through this. She ended up winning the whole
You know,
season.
I still don't understand how she won. I think
I
the only
liked
reason,
her.
I hated her, and the only reason I think she even got as far as she did, because she was constantly a fan favorite, was because of the whole sex tape thing she had going for her. And if you
Didn't
did,
know anything about that.
if you did not know that Anya has a sex tape, it came out before the season, before I think they even picked her or whatever. And I am almost, like 100% certain that had a lot
Well, what
to do
does
with
that
her.
have to do with anything?
Yeah,
She's
really.
like
Because
the
it made her.
we
Because it made
didn't
her
know,
like.
and how would most people even know that?
Everybody knew that.
She's
I
like,
didn't
I
know
don't
that.
think so.
The Anya sex tape. Come on.
Now they do.
Yeah.
Now they know.
Go download that now.
Michael Kors,
Yikes.
he must have been judging her.
Yeah. You know, I think Emily's downfall, I don't know that it's that she can't design or that she has no style. I think really with her, it was the time management. And that's something you can't know as a casting director. You don't know how quickly these people can work, but that's part of the challenge. Yeah. And that's what creates the drama of the show. If they casted everybody that works great in a day, there's no drama, there's no stress. You know, there's no nastiness walking down the runway, and they kind of live for that. So I think with her, she's young. I can't imagine her not having a good style. And like, she was really
That's
cute.
not true. There are a ton of young people
Well, there
out there
are,
that
but
have
she
bad
doesn't
style.
look like she has. She doesn't look like she
Amen.
would have bad style.
And her
like
idea
she was really
wasn't
pretty.
bad. Her design.
Yeah, I agree. I
Well,
didn't
a
think
lot
it was
of people
bad.
can sketch well. Like, that's the thing. They're like, oh, she had such good sketches. A lot of people can sketch well. That doesn't mean that they can design. And a lot of designers can't sketch for anything,
Right.
but they can design. So their job here is to make clothes. And if she
Yeah.
can't make clothes, what is she doing? When she got out the glue gun, I was like,
Yeah.
well, I could pull out a glue gun and make something. I've
Well,
done
even
that
she said,
before.
she's like, I
Halloween
can't believe I'm
costumes.
gluing something right now. Even she admitted that. But
And
I
it
think she
looked
really
like
didn't
glue.
know. She must not, she couldn't have ever worked in that quick of a time constraint. And I just don't think she was ready for that.
I just don't know how you don't prepare for that, because if I am going on Project Runway, I'm going to
test yourself.
research it and I'm
Yeah.
going to be like, okay, I'm given 10 hours for a challenge. What can I construct in 10 hours? You know, and just test it out. Try. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why your first time under that much pressure you would do it on TV. But that's
don't
because I
know.
like to
Be
prepare.
prepared.
Who knows?
All right.
We will never know what she
Be
could
prepared.
be.
So you guys know our favorites and least favorites. Let's talk about Project Runway's winner and loser. The winner was
Well,
Daniel.
wait, we didn't talk about who was in the top. for the judges?
Well, since we don't have time.
Well, we could just say
We could.
it was
Sorry.
Patricia, Richard, and Daniel from the Dream.
Keeping It Real.
from Keeping It Real.
Because they were the winning team.
Yep.
They were the winning team, so those were the top 3.
And then Dream Team, obviously the losing team.
Right.
Who were the worst? James,
Emily,
Emily,
and
and
Cindy.
Cindy. And bye-bye, Emily.
Bye-bye, Emily. I mean, when Nina said that comment in all of our 11 seasons, that's the most unfinished garment I've ever seen walk down the runway, I would have burst into tears.
And then they
In a
said they
second.
helped her with it.
Oh, they threw
That
her. No,
was
they threw her
awful.
to the wolves right away. When they were all still out there, they were like, "Oh, we tried to help her." Like Ben, the British Australian guy or whatever.
Yeah.
He was just like, he was ragging on her. Like everybody was ready to throw her out.
Yeah.
Right. Well, clearly she was the weakest link of
She
the
was the
team,
weak
and
link.
if they want her to go,
She's
I'd do
lucky
it too.
Michael Kors wasn't there. He would
Oh.
have
He
ripped her a
would
new
have
one.
ripped her.
Well, and
Zach
she's
Posen was
dead
nice.
weight. I mean, Ben had a right because he had a good look, and
He did.
had he been on the other team, maybe he would have won.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe.
All right. Should we get to
Yeah,
some
you're right.
news and gossip?
News.
Oh,
about
yes. Wait, did we say who the winner was?
Yeah.
Daniel. Okay,
Daniel.
good. Yes. So I only have a couple of news pieces. First one, Alina mentioned to me tonight that there's an article of Tim Gunn in Time magazine where he clearly states that this is his all-time favorite season. So if you want to hear more about that, go pick up that Time magazine
good
article.
article.
Okay, cool. And then lastly, I'm so excited about this one. I don't know about Cougar who threw Nina under the bus, but Nina just started this Tuesday. It's called Decoding Style, and it's on AOL, and it's basically her own 5-minute videos where she will take a woman, learn about her story, and then pretty much give her a mini makeover. And while she's doing it, she'll give her different fashion and style tips, and she'll take that person's style into consideration. There's already about, I don't know, maybe 7 or so videos up. And like I said, they're just about 5 minutes each. And the best part about it is you get to see Nina's style, and she looks so good on all of them. And you get to see her working with a real woman and hear what she has to say. And they're quick and they're fantastic. So I think they're going to be posting every Tuesday.
And how do you get to be this real woman? If we're
I
campaigning
don't know, but
for
I'm
stuff?
sure if you look it up, if you go to Bing and Google Nina Garcia decoding style, you'll probably find the page, and I'm sure on there they might tell you how to apply.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lo.
Now, I gotta
excited.
plug a Project Runway alum real quick who has been a guest on our show, Joshua Christensen. I just got back from Sundance Film Festival, and Josh got to design the dress that the director of this movie called May in the Summer, which is an amazing movie, so look for that in theaters, but what the director of this movie wore to the premiere, and her movie opened the entire festival.
Wow.
So this guy that's, hung out with us a couple times, I think.
Yeah.
And he was on Project Runway season 9. Huge honor. So check that out if you go and Google Josh Sundance. It should pop up right away.
I
Congrats,
just,
Josh.
yeah, and I
Congrats,
saw it, and it looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Amazing.
exciting.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get to predictions.
I think I have it.
What do we? Yeah. What are we gonna predict?
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Should we predict who we think is gonna be the next fastest off?
Let's predict, who's going to be off and who you think is going to be strong.
Oh,
And
okay.
do you think Keeping It Real is going to take it again?
I think that they'll probably keep taking it. If I was gonna pick though, who's gonna be off, even though he was, which team was he on? James seems like he's going to be going down in flames quickly.
James and
a little bit of a
Cindy.
weirdo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cindy might still surprise us if she kind of realigns her, because she can sew.
But it's not just about sewing. You
yeah,
have to have a
I don't know.
good
I'm
style.
saying James off. I'm saying strong is going to be Benjamin. I'm really excited to see what he
Yeah.
continues to create.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see him go to Europe.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
gonna be exciting. I'm gonna say Joseph because I thought that was awful, and I guess the obvious. I mean, I think Daniel's gonna be really strong, and I think he's gonna be fun to watch.
And Stanley. That
And Stanley,
jumpsuit.
he's
We
gonna
didn't
be
really
good.
talk about that jumpsuit, but that was nice.
It was
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The back was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And Alina?
All right. I think Ben and Daniel are going to be pretty strong, and I have to agree, James is not proving it to me. Bye-bye.
James or Joseph?
James.
I don't even remember James anymore.
James
He was
John.
from Dream
Martinez.
Team.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah.
Jason.
Got it.
Yeah.
Weirdo. Couldn't stop talking.
James, Jason, Joseph.
Benjamin was ready to shoot him in like the first 5 seconds of the
Oh,
episode.
I did like how Heidi told Patricia to basically shut
You
up.
don't.
Oh,
Just
I
speak
even
so
I
much.
wrote that down. You don't
That
need
was
to
good.
speak that much.
It's only a 90-minute show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Until
So-
next time.
I'm Alina, so follow me on Twitter at _Alina23.
And tweet me at Virginia Reyna.
And you could tweet me at @low_Vias.
At Cougar Tweets.
Let's keep the combo going. Thanks for listening, you guys.
And send us to New York.
Send us to New York, Project Runway.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.